YouTube video. Today I'm joining you from the city of future, which is Dubai, which if you're new to my channel, I'm Shireen Kapoor. I'm a business immigration lawyer. I help people move to Canada as well as purchase via purchasing businesses or opening your branch company or the startup visa program or different programs depending on your profile. If you are new to my channel, hit the like button, do subscribe to my channel for more such valuable content that I share my knowledge with in order to help you if in your immigration journey, as well as if you are going to buy a business in Canada. Now today's topic is very crucial when it comes to buying a business. It is my top secret, and I guarantee you, if you listen to this video, implement the steps while purchasing a business, there is not, I would say 100% you will mitigate your risk, but 50 to 80% you will, depending on the complexity of your business. Obviously you would need a panel of experts, which you should have, but you should not cut corners on this. And in this video you will understand each and every step involved in due diligence before purchasing a business. Now why I say before purchasing the business, because you don't want any kind of surprises post closing your business. And in Canada, business buying, I talk in general, but specifically in Canada, business buying is not gonna be an easy thing for you. You're gonna make huge sum of investment, because usually profitable business, in my experience in Canada, start from 200 to 300,000 Canadian dollars. So make sure you watch this video till end and do subscribe. Due diligence is a vital aspect of business. Now there are three key steps in buying a business before pre-closing. First is that you identify the business. Now identification of a business, what kind of business you do. If you want to immigrate via that business, then it's a different ball game, and there are other immigration angles to it. But if you generally immigrated and want to buy a business, or you're within Canada, or you don't want to immigrate and still want to buy a business, so there are other various scenarios in your kind of position. So first is identifying the kind of business you want. If it's a commercial building that you want to buy, if it's an active running management business that you want to buy, different things will have different kind of identification, research and market analysis. The second step involved in buying a business in Canada is the letter of intent. This is usually a step in which you and the vendor will have a discussion about all the things that you are going to do in the third step, as well as getting a brief summary of the business, but not in detail. Before signing the letter of intent, it is crucial you mark down some key issues that you are going to do in the due diligence, so that the vendor expectations are also managed, and so is yours. Third is the due diligence stage. Now in this video you will understand due diligence, how it should be done, who usually does it, why it needs to be done, and what are the process involved in doing due diligence, and what are the key things you should be looking at when doing due diligence. Now let's see that who usually does the due diligence. Obviously the buyer will, usual cases the buyer will do the due diligence. In some cases the seller would want to cooperate and say himself that okay, because maybe he's in a rush to sell the business, or some need is there, that he would be like, the due diligence report is already ready and you can review it. Of course, you as a investor in the business, I always tell my clients, actively involve yourself in this step, in the due diligence step, because nobody is making that investment. That amount is going from your pocket, and hence you need to be part of it. Be primarily three goals that you are trying to satisfy with due diligence. One is you can target the business in a much better avenue and with a much better mindset, I would say. Second is, what is your investment thesis like? Where is your investment going? What is the whole portfolio of your investment going to be? Third is that you are trying to mitigate the risk. Of course, no business will come without any risk, but you will substantially minimize the risk if you know it from the very beginning what needs to be done. Every business has some kind of risk angle involved to it, and if you are a business person or an entrepreneur, you will know that this statement is absolutely true, but still with proper due diligence, you will be able to mitigate the risk. Now, what due diligence in general terms, in general common parlance, commercial parlance, is that you are a reasonable kind of verification of what the vendor is giving you. Is the story making sense? Numbers are making sense? Financial due diligence is making sense? Are you able to join the dots? ये छोटी छोटी चीज़ें हैं which you have to keep in mind, but if you see holistically, they become a very big part of your game, and you will be able to end of the day verify. It's all about trust and verification. Whatever the information you've got in the LOI, are you able to verify that? So that is due diligence. There are three types of, actually four, but mainly three types of due diligence that you need to do depending on the time frame of your due diligence. For example, in my experience, a commercial transaction, real estate, like a real estate, this thing will take about 30 days if everything goes smoothly and you're able to acquire all the documentation from the vendor. And for a business, it will usually go 6 to 12 weeks depending on the kind of complexity of the whole business and what you're purchasing. Now, what are the three types of due diligence? First is the business due diligence. I'm going to talk in detail when we talk about the process of DD, but first is the business due diligence. Second is the accounting or the financial due diligence, very important, not to be missed. Third is the legal due diligence. Definitely not that detailed analysis. It will not take a lot of your time, but depending on the kind of business, there are certain legal risks involved, and hence legal compliance is also very important before taking over a business. Now let's further divide the process of due diligence into three main steps. First is outlining the process. Very important that you outline कि आगे steps क्या involved होने वाले हैं. What are you going to do? What is the process that you're going to take into account? Which are the aspects you're going to spend maximum time in due diligence? Don't try to cut corners when it comes to hiring of the team, taking help of professionals, because you have to think it as a part of an investment in the bigger picture. Once you are investing something, obviously you want a significant return of it, and you will. By doing proper due diligence of a business, you will definitely mark some of the significant benefits that you can actually attain in the form of dividends of the business. You have to think it from that angle. Don't try to cut loose or cut corners in this. Also, in this whole process of outlining the process, it will be very beneficial for you to understand your business. Also, it will be very easy transition, definitely, for the whole business, employees, if you're taking over, etc. It's just gonna be a very smooth process if you outline everything and you are going to spend maximum time on this, maximum on the expertise of this person. It's just gonna make everything so easy, organized. Also, a key tip is that do not try to rush due diligence. Don't try to overlook anything. Do ask questions, because this is your time to ask questions. Later you might not get this time. Obviously you've done the investment, money has been transferred and everything is done, and you are legally handling the business then. But ask questions and don't do it in a rush. Like, just take your time in order to complete this process. The second and very crucial step in due diligence is to assemble a team. Now, first thing is to hire this team in a timely manner, because if you are trying to just think about whom you're going to hire, blah blah blah, and you're wasting a lot of time, in the end the vendor might just tell you that, okay, you missed this point in the beginning, why you asking me in the end? Maybe this is a sign of you escaping the deal. So there are other things that the other side also starts feeling in terms of a negotiation of a commercial transaction. So be mindful that you assemble the team in a timely manner, because this will also help you know the expected revenue, expected business forecast, everything. This is really gonna be helpful. If there are certain key aspects of your thought process you want to incorporate, have a lawyer on panel who's going to draft the purchase agreement. Of course, I would say that some experience for this team is very much required, because unexperienced people usually will miss out onto some information which is crucial for your kind of business. Have CPA, accountants, very important for financial diligence. Now, what all you need in financial diligence is a topic I will speak later, but just assemble the team, the right people with you, and of course actively be involved yourself in this process. Now, once you have outlined the process, assemble the team, start conducting the due diligence. What are you waiting for? Now, due diligence is obviously going to be further divided into 3 parts. I'm just trying to summarize this whole process for you. Of course, in this video, I cannot go endlessly topping. There is time constraint, but still, I would give you the further other things that you need to do. Now, coming back to the kind of due diligence, first is the commercial, second is the accounting, and third is the legal due diligence. Of course, depending on the kind of industry you are dealing in, the business you are buying, you will focus on one thing more and the other thing less, or maybe two things more, one thing less, depending on what kind of business you are buying. Now, the first type of due diligence, the commercial due diligence, the basic agenda is to understand the business holistically. You need to understand how the company is making money. If you're acquiring some business, you are obviously acquiring their clients, their suppliers, everybody. Make a detailed discussion. Try to push for a meeting with the key customers. Try to understand the business strategy of the business, how they want to grow in the future, what was their plan, how they were making money till now. Try to also see if you were able to find suppliers of the business and get a list out of it, because usually if there is one supplier, then believe me, you don't want to be threatened by their arbitrary price change. You want to maybe have a one-to-one connection with the supplier. Try to push for that meeting if possible. Try to see the key clients. Try to meet the clients if possible. This is called customer concentration, supplier concentration. In customer concentration, you will meet the client and you will understand his or her mindset. If they want to change any pricing plans for you, if they have in the future they plan to not buy from you, maybe buy from you, maybe change some strategy. Just meeting them is so much better. Understanding their mindset and their whole thinking with your would-be business is so much more better and easier transition. So is with the case of suppliers. It's in nowadays where technology is taking over, artificial intelligence is coming into play in businesses. It's very important to understand the market trend of this particular industry. For example, in real estate, tech has taken over human beings, and hence it's very important to get tech in your business, right? So similarly, depending on industry, various industries, it will some kind of threat of technology would be there if the business has not already incorporated it, and this will be a point of negotiation for you as well later. Once you have gained some key understanding of the customer, the supplier, the whole business model, also try to meet the employees. They are going to be your first-hand people. Also, I would sometimes recommend clients, if there's an active management kind of a business, try to see how the vendor himself was actively managed, how it's going to affect the position and the business in day-to-day operations. It's very important, because sometimes if the vendor is like a leader in the company and the whole dynamics of the business would change if that person leaves, right? And hence you would want to retain the employees because they already know the kind of business you're doing. So it's always better to have a one-to-one kind of relationship even with the employees. Also try to understand their role positions, the senior management, the middle management, as well as the people working on the ground. Now let's jump on to the next type of due diligence, which is the financial and the accounting due diligence. Of course, आप पैसे खर्च रहे हो तो सबसे important part तो finances ही होते हैं, right? अब vendor जो बोल रहा है उसको सब कुछ नहीं believe कर लेना, खुद भी अपना use करना है, और उसके लिए आपको एक अच्छा accountant चाहिए, which obviously who understands how this purchasing of business works. And for that also you need one more thing, is your own attention to detail. Now, of course, you will try to negotiate through your lawyer or yourself, maybe from the vendor, some of the key documents from the vendor: latest financial statement, non-negotiable, taxes paid in the past, taxes seen for the future forecast अगर कुछ निकला हुआ है, financial forecast, budgets if they have any license permits etc that they might have paid for, and you want to just check on to that. Then there is also financial bank statements which need to match. You through this you will be able to match the whole story and what the vendor was initially telling you, is it really true with the numbers on ground. There are certain things that you and your accountant should be looking at, definitely. Just some key points I'm telling you, not in detail, but some key points that you can be wary of. One is tax liabilities, poor product margins, if there is a need of repair of any kind of equipment or infrastructure you're taking over, if there are any kind of slow paying customers, please take note of that. Operational inefficiencies, high employee turnover, working capital level, financial ratios, and owner compensation. All these things are little technical maybe for you to understand, but in financially your accountant would understand the importance of all of this. And these are also some things which you will be able to have a better deal, bargaining, by which of leveraging these points you will have a better deal. Then obviously third is the legal compliance of everything, legal due diligence. If there's any litigation in the past, any IPR, trademark, copyrights, any issues with that, any issue with any the real estate that the business is in, or any commercial litigation, any kind of other litigation, any licenses permits not renewed, etc., because that can be a threat to your business later. You just don't want unexpected cost. Any employee or labor law issues, etc., very important in Canada, and hence just take clearance and compliance for all of this. Now, all in all, I like to say that not every business would be some businesses would have more risk, some have less risk, some have, because also some have more capital involved, some have less capital involved. So depending on the kind of businesses, you 100% cannot waive off the risk of any company, any business, anything. Just keep this in mind. But you can obviously negotiate in a manner by all these points. You can obviously mitigate your risk. All these points can help you leverage your kind of deal that you're looking at. Maybe you get a substantial amount of benefit, and any kind of benefit for anybody is not a harmful thing, right? So make sure that in this whole process of business transaction, you do follow these due diligence points. Hire a team of experts if need be, and if you want to immigrate also through this business, have an immigration lawyer as well. Now we do both business and immigration law, and I can by experience tell you that a lot of people mix onto both the things. It's also important that आप दोनों के emotion side रखो. With an immigration angle, think of the immigration, what you want to do. With a business angle, think of the business. Now when you mix it is when you do the khichdi of things. So yes, if you like the video, do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram for my daily updates, and I hope you like it. Thank you.